Today is Cyber Monday, and this year it's tipped to be the busiest online shopping day in history. Visa Europe is renaming today Mega Monday. Its commercial director, Steve Perry, is with us. Steve, thank you so much for coming here on the program. Now, it's very interesting in terms of the figures you were just telling me about. It's a 12% increase that you're expecting from last year, and this is despite the economic forecast, all the gloom and doom that we're seeing out there, and we really do have a lot of people saying, you know, consumers are careful about what they spend, but obviously not online, or less online.
Well, consumers are careful. There's no question that they're cautious. We've seen quite a slowdown in consumer spending, but not on Visa cards. So in the UK, if we look at the UK now, £1 in £4 spent by consumers is on a Visa card. And I think consumers are fundamentally canny. They're going to market to look for a deal. And the best way to do that is on the internet.
So £1 in £4 as opposed to how many 4 or 5 years ago? I mean, do you have a comparison figure?
Every 5 or 6 years, we're doubling our business. So if we go back to 2000, for example, we were something like 1 in 12. Now, most recently, 1 in 4, and in Europe, 1 in 7. So consumers make a choice to use payment cards. In particular, they're using their debit cards. This isn't a credit story. Consumers are switching away from cash, from checks, from using other payment mechanisms to use their debit cards.
So what you're telling me, Steve, is basically because of the recession or a possible looming recession, people want to find better bargains, and so we have more sales, and so what they do is instead of going to the stores, they go online and do what? Price comparison sites?
Well, they did probably what I did at the weekend. I went down to the shopping malls, here I am in London, have a look at the goods I might want to buy for Christmas, and then have a look on the internet. Can I get, excuse me, can I get them more cheaply? So that's what they're going to be doing today. We expect today at around about 1 o'clock, there'll be a lot of online shopping in the UK. There'll be a lot of shopping tonight when people get home. And the reason it's today is that we've mostly have been paid. Been paid at the end of the month. It's the Monday nearest to the end of November. Coming into Christmas, we can get our goods delivered.
So it's almost an ideal situation for Visa. How do you compare, though, with your main rivals? How difficult is it to actually attract new customers, and how much offers you have to put out there, or make sure that actually your payments aren't too high compared to rivals?
It's an interesting business that we're in. It's not a case of attracting new consumers. All consumers in the UK have a Visa payment card. It's about getting them to use it more often than they use cash and checks. So the attraction is actually to get away from cash. And so the space that we operate is really to use new technologies. 10 years ago, you couldn't use the internet to make a payment.
But then your clients are the banks, because I don't often get, offered a MasterCard Visa. So how do you entice the banks to choose Visa over MasterCard in this kind of environment?
Okay. In that environment, working with the banks, it's about offering the best solution at the cheapest price. So we are consistently cheaper than the competition. We've put on about 5 points market share over the last 2 years versus the competition, and we're taking it away from MasterCard as well as cash and checks.
Steve, when will you be concerned that actually all of this is going to stop? At the moment, we're still in a situation where I guess people are looking for these bargains, they're looking online. If we see and feel a full-on recession again, people are going to stop spending altogether. Is this a concern, and do you have a time frame? I mean, what is Visa Europe looking at? 5, 6 months down the line? If someone defaults the Eurozone, what impact is it going to have on your business?
Well, we've been looking at consumer spending trends for the last 3 or 4 years, and there's no doubt that consumers are spending less. They're increasingly cautious. If I look to a fallout in the Eurozone, whether it comes or not, I think we'll have significantly bigger problems than consumer spending using their Visa cards. However, what we've done is to ensure that we've got good settlement and good risk procedures in place, and we've got a great deal of settlement funds. But I think consumers will always be canny, that's the thing. Whether there's a recession or not, they're looking for a good deal. And today they'll find deals on the internet.
Very quickly, Cyber Monday, what is the festive season going to bring? Because that, I imagine, is when shoppers actually go more to the stores because there are sales on.
Well, let's put it this way. 1 in 4 transactions is on the internet. Come Christmas Eve, we'll see a mega explosion of spending on face-to-face environment because people like me will have forgotten to do their spending. So it's Christmas Eve. That's when it's going to take place.
Fair enough. Steve, thank you so much. Steve Perry, their commercial director at Visa Europe.